Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial. So in the last tutorial I talked about how I have initialized two lists. One is the guest list, which is empty, and the other one is the user list, which has two hard-coded values in it. And then I have used the setAttribute method to save those lists for the later use. So one is named as guestDB, which is having the guestDB list, and the other one is named as userDB, having the userDB list. Now if we look at the login.jsp file, you can see that we have two fields over here. One is the username. So in the username I have this user.username value, and this parameter is being passed on for later use as well. So now if we look at over here in the guest list controller, then we can see that we have used both the attribute and the parameter. So over here I have created a new user, and this user is nothing but a model. Okay, so as I said before, that this is called the POJO, or plain old Java object, which has just two attributes right now and the getter and setter methods. So in a real life example, this user class or this user file should be mapped with the actual database, and that is what we are calling the model. So that means in database we will have a table named user, where we are going to have the username and password as two fields over there, and the data type should be the string for both of the cases. So this file should be representing our actual table within the database. So that means this should be mapped, or this file should be mapped to our table in the database. So now if we move on to the guest list controller, and then we can see that we have created a new user. Okay, and then user.setUsername, and what I'm using is the request.get parameter username. Okay, and then user.setPassword is what is being saved as user.get parameter. And what is this parameter? If we look at over here, you can see that I have this user.username. Okay, so that is being saved over here. Okay, so now I have got my new user. Okay, and then I am invoking, or I am getting the userDB list that was saved as an attribute. Okay, and if we look at again the startup listener, and we can see that we have the userDB attribute set up with the name. So now let's go back to the controller, and then you can see that I have retrieved the userDB from where? From this context using the getAttribute method. Okay, and then I'm just passing on this new user to my findUser method, and where I am basically comparing the username and password, and if it is matching, then return true, and if it is not matching, then returning false. So the purpose of this tutorial is just to show that how we map stuff with the actual table, and how we are using the attributes and parameters in order to invoke stuff so that we can work on the web application. Okay, so that's all for today's tutorial. Thank you.